Some years back, Jim McLennan and I were walking across the railway bridge just above Lunbrick Falls on the Crow's Nest River. We met a couple of older gentlemen who were walking the other direction, each carrying a spinning rod. They were heading downstream toward their vehicle. One of us asked the two, "How's fishing?" To which one of them replied, "Well, they're jumping, but they're not biting." Jim and I just smiled. Jim said, "Have a nice day," and we began to walk just that little bit quicker. Nothing quickens the pulse of a dry fly angler like the sight of a large trout feeding on the surface, especially if the fish is rising to the angler's dry fly. I believe the fact that trout eat insects in and on the water's surface film is the very reason the sport of fly fishing began. With the weight built into and distributed along the fly line, fly anglers were able to cast virtually weightless flies toward a feeding trout. And to watch a nice fish rise slowly up and sip your dry fly is, in my opinion, one of the greatest thrills in fly fishing.
Broke him off. Shot him? See the nips in him? Oh. See it? And that's kind of the problem. It's just two nimps, eh? That thing he's been dragging around with him. Nice trout.
Did you ever have a big fish rise up and sip your fly and you raise your rod to set the hook and there's absolutely nothing there? Watch this.
You missed it, Russ. Yeah. There's a big fish feed right here. Yeah, I'm getting really good close-ups of them rising. Just give me a couple minutes.
3 attempts to eat one bug. When would you have set the hook? I know I would have set it on the very first rise and been wondering what I did wrong because there would have been nothing there. fishing across the main current, casting down and across the stream is sometimes the only way to get a good drag-free presentation to the fish. Casting down and across with a good upstream reach bend makes it even more effective. When you come to a pool and there are fish feeding on the surface, one of the really cool things about dry fly fishing is you get to pick out the biggest fish. So you're not just casting blind and hoping some fish will eat your fly. You pick out one specific fish. Figuring out how to get that drag-free float, changing flies, sometimes extending your leader or going to a finer tippet, it all adds up to a great challenge. Sometimes the fish wins, sometimes you win. Once you've hooked a large fish on a dry fly, especially if it's a small fly and you're using fine tippets, fighting the fish now becomes a challenge. I get particular pleasure in landing a fish that has someone else's fly on its jaw. I'd like to thank all of these trout for being so cooperative and not being camera shy, and for quickening the pulse of this old dry fly fisherman's heart one more time.
My ass is not really big in this way.